Let's talk about one of my favorite Mediterranean trees to grow indoors. Hi, welcome back to my grow room. My name is Christopher, as always. Today I want to dedicate my video to my olive tree. If you would like to grow something that is really easy to care for, if you get the things correct, and you would like something that you could bring outside in the summertime and bring back in at winter, and have something grow and really last for a long time, you should definitely check out growing olive tree. I really love this plant. I got this plant about a year or two ago, I really don't remember. And I started getting it really for the indoor in our living room. And it was in a bonsai pot, and it was shaped like a bonsai tree. It wasn't much taller than this. And it had a thick stem, and it branched out into 1,000 different branches. But it never really started growing. And I was thinking that I wanted to do something else with this tree. I've come to love the way that I can manipulate and change the behavior of my trees and the growing patterns. So I really wanted to start fresh on this one. And I've had really good luck pruning citrus trees all the way down the stem. And so I thought that could be a fun thing to try with this olive tree also. I've been doing gardening so long now and so much that I really don't get too afraid of trying things with my plants, even though they are old. And you shouldn't be either. This tree was cut down all the way down here. You can see the thick stump here. And I just put it aside for a couple of weeks and it started producing shoots. And it's been growing ever since. It's a slow grower, but it really doesn't take too much care to grow. I put it in some Mediterranean soil. This is a mix of something they call Mediterranean soil. So what that means, it's a little bit heavier, more clay-like soil. I don't use clay in the soil per se, but it's more like clay, and I mixed that with my own mix of soil. And I'm going to do a video. I think my next indoor video is going to be about my soil, because I was running out of vermiculite. I was going to do a video about it, but I had to get some more vermiculite, so that one is probably going to be my next video. But if you give it that kind of soil, and these are like other Mediterranean plants like citrus, they like a little bit of an acidic soil. So every now and then I drop a cup of coffee, cold coffee down here, and it just seems to like it. So start with something that is a little bit acidic from the beginning, and look for something called Mediterranean soil or something like that, and you should be just fine. And when you're growing this, you shouldn't care too much about it. I've been in the beginning. I used to have I had an olive tree before, and that was a few years ago, and it just died on me, and I couldn't for the life of me figure out why. But I think now looking back, I overwatered it. This one is supposed to dry out, really dry out in between waterings, and it could really take a beating. So the only thing that you really can't do with this plant is overwater. If you do that, then it's not going to be easy to get this one growing back. Just water it well and just let it go bone dry before you water it again. And if you just take those things into consideration, then you could probably grow this forever. I know olive trees can grow to 1,000 years, and I'm not sure in the grow room, but I'm surely thinking that this one could grow into a really large tree, and I would repot it, and hopefully one day in the future I will be able to grow this as a kind of a tree indoors. Lighting. This thing needs lighting. You're going to have to put it beside a window or under some grow lights or something like that. It really needs lighting, but not too awful much. This one, as you can see, it's a little bit limpy now, and that's the reason why we're going to prune it. But this one has been growing under my grow lights a really far distance away for a really long time. And it's been also growing sheltered or shaded under one of my banana trees. So it hasn't been getting the best lighting conditions, but even still, it's been growing really nice. So what I'm going to do today is just to prune off the tips, and that way it will stiffen up a little bit and the new shoots will just start coming out again, and it will just continue from there. I'm going to try to give it a little bit better lighting now in the future, just to see if that makes a difference in the sturdiness of this tree. The thing that I like about this, it looks like it's really limpy, and it is, but the thing I like about it, it just looks like it's flowing in the wind. It just looks like it's been taking a beating from the wind and it's just flowing through there, and I really just like that. So what I want in the end for this tree is something that grows like this. And the way I'm going to achieve that is by doing pruning on different levels. Not something that I'm going to get too much into now, but in the future, that's going to be really important for the shape of this tree. And that's something that we can get back into later. I'm pruning it now at almost random places. The only thing that I could tell you is that they will just put out shoots from each and every leaf node. So it doesn't really matter too much where you cut it. The only thing is that where you cut it, it's most likely to sprout new shoots from the first set of leaves from the top. So they grow in like this pattern. So one set of leaves like this and the other set like this, and then this again and this. So if you are really into getting your branches going out, you really want to prune them so the leaves are in that direction. And actually, that's what I'm going to do with this one. This one looks nice. This one looks nice now. And I'm going to get this one all the way back there. And this one I really like, but it's not going to be supportive enough for this plant in the long run. But I'm just afraid of cutting it too short. That way it will just bend up straight up and go like that. I want it to just continue with the flow, so I'm going to try to prune it in a little bit and see if I go there. That's probably going to be enough, or let me just take off this also. And this one, nothing to worry about for now. This one is going to continue to grow the way that it has been, and it's going to get a little bit head start over these ones. I've been pruning it back one time before, I think. So over here, yeah, this was a cut, and that's the only thing that I have been doing. And it is a slow grower, but it's growing slow and steady, and it really just continues on. When you would like olive trees to go into flowering, I think it is important that you keep this in a cooler place for a few weeks, just to trigger the normal activity of the plant. And I'm not going to do that now, but eventually when this thing grows to a decent size and I'm satisfied with the size and I don't want to focus on the growth, I'm going to try to see if I could induce flowering on this, and hopefully we could get some olives. That would be awesome if we could get some olives from purely indoor grown olives. If you grow this tree and you see that it just stops growing, that's perfectly normal. Like my fig tree also, it goes through cycles of growing. It grows for a while, then it just stops, and it looks like the plant is just not doing anything at all and you're thinking, well, is the plant dying on me or what's going on? That's just normal. So you can have this plant go dormant for 3, 4, 5 months without growing at all. And then suddenly it just starts popping new shoots everywhere, and that's just the normal way that this plant grows. If you have any questions about this plant or anything related to this, just hit me up in the comments down below. And I would really appreciate a like if this is something that you enjoy watching. I will be doing more of these videos if it's well received. I want to do one type of plant at a time and just have a conversation about it. I really enjoy my plants, and they all have their own little story to tell. So that's it for this week. I hope you enjoyed it. This is Christopher saying, may the force be with you. And me and the olive tree is going to think about summer. Bye.